To order. This meeting was called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. Notices of this meeting were sent to the Courier News and the Star Ledger on January 6, 2015. In addition, copies of notices were posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, on the Raritan Borough website, and filed in the office of the Borough Clerk. Notices on the bulletin board have remained continuously posted. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of this meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen.
Here.
Councilman Fooey.
Here.
Councilwoman Garum.
Here.
Councilman Giraldi.
Here.
Council President LaBelle. Councilman Sebelia.
Here.
Please stand for the invocation of flag salute.
Lord, please let us govern and direct our town of Raritan with justice, integrity, respect for equality. Let us place our talents and resources at the service of those who elected us. With the guidance of our Almighty Father, let us strive to accept the challenges set before us and work together in harmony and understanding for the common good of everyone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business is Resolution 2015-09-107, executive session. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-7, commonly known as the Sunshine Law, requires that Borough Council meetings be open to the public except for the discussion of certain subjects. Whereas the Sunshine Law requires that a closed session be authorized by resolution. Now, therefore, be it resolved that by the Borough Council of the Borough of Raritan, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, that the following portion of this meeting shall be closed to the public, and the meeting shall be resumed at the end of the closed session. Be it further resolved that the subjects to be discussed and the time of public release of the minutes of the closed session are indicated below. Subject matter is 1, PBA employment contract, 2, fire prevention officer salary, 3, co-litigation, 4, attorney-client privilege. Time when and the circumstances under which the subject matter can be disclosed is upon the authorization of the borough attorney. Do I have someone that would like to move this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Gara, second by Mr. Fooey. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Garum.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
I ask the audience succession. Have we finished our executive session? I know that Mr. Councilman Giraldi has listed under old business the fire department purchase of the truck, and I see that the chief is here. So I'm going to switch the agenda around a bit so that he can discuss with us fire apparatus, because that question has come up a number of times.
Where we at, chief, with the fire truck?
Where we're at is we've had 3 different vendors in the firehouse with demo units for us to look at. I was down in Wildwood at the New Jersey State Firemen's Convention this past weekend. We looked at about 5 others while we were there. There's another one that I want to bring in and have them show me a spec and see what kind of, they don't talk numbers at these, it's just a showcase of all the apparatus. I have a couple of copies here. I only have 2, but I'm going to go through these. This is a drawing of it, this is a detail, and this is like a Spark Notes version of it. I have 2 copies of the Spark Notes version. So, when you go to buy a fire truck like this, there's a lot of different options that come with it. They'll bring a spec in that has ridiculous stuff on it that we don't need. They want to put programs on it, they want to put this, that, you know, and we don't need that stuff. Perfect example, the last meeting we had, we took out a 30-gallon foam tank from the truck. It saved us over $8,000 off the price of the truck, which allows us to then buy things that fit our needs better. I mean, but with this, we're speccing everything down to Do you want the outlet here? Do you want the power outlet here? How big of a generator do you want? There's certain equipment that we need to be put on, that needs to be put on the new truck. We gotta make sure there's mounting for this stuff. Everything has to be safety rated in general terms, to be able to allow for, you know, stuff not to fly, God forbid there's ever an accident, or, you know, there's a lot of different things to it. We are working with them now. I gave Dan last week, there's 3 different ways you can buy a fire truck, really. We could draw up a spec and put it out to bid. We can go through state contract, and we can go through HGAC, which is this Houston Galveston. It's like a purchase, a vehicle co-op. So I gave Dan the information on the HGAC last Tuesday, I think it was, and he's looking into it, to make sure that we're able to buy through that. Because if we are able to buy through that, it gives us more options than the state contract does.
Are you talking about, like, originally we talked about, you were talking about demos? These are new trucks or
These are new
demo
trucks. These are new trucks because the demos that they brought into us
Yeah,
were out of our price range. Because the reason, what we found was that most of the demos that they're building
bells and whistles.
have every bell and whistle on it, and even with their discount, it's still not bringing it down to a reasonable, and we're buying a lot of stuff that we frankly don't need.
So what's your timeline and what kind of price do you think you're looking at now?
The truck as it sits on paper there is $468,300 and
That's
something.
what we talked about.
Which we had 470, was the maximum appropriated. So, you know, but as we work, you know, at one point we were at 475, but then we cut this out and we added this. Every time, you know, we sit down for these 3 or 4 hour meetings with the different manufacturers, there's pieces coming out of it, things going into it, that are changing the dynamic of the truck, and then they get back to us with a price on it, because they can't even tell us a price right there in front of us.
Does it fit in the house?
It does fit in the firehouse.
You
I
know,
mean, and that's something, that's a
That's
legitimate
important,
question.
yes.
We were out there with tape measures,
Yeah.
because there's an option for a longer cab that gives us 11 inches more room in the cab of the truck. So we had to make sure that that was gonna fit on both sides of the firehouse. Granted, this will not fit in the downtown firehouse.
Well,
There's no way we're getting a fire truck in
That
there.
was the problem
Yeah.
with the
No
aerial
way
lab.
we're getting an engine in the back bays downtown. It's just, it's
Too
not,
big.
it's not big enough. The new trucks are just too big for it.
but see, if you understand the government, you use it or lose it, right?
I understand 100%.
We talked about this beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
We had some delays with the PO stuff.
I'll get it.
Right.
When they came in, they kinda, a lot of the same people involved in this. I have a 5-person committee, I'm one of them, and we sit down with these manufacturers and we go through, if it's something I don't catch, another guy will catch. So,
So going forward, we're looking at what,
we have
6 months.
another meeting next week with E1, which is the truck that we see right in front of you. I talked to the Pierce dealer, which is one of the other companies that we had talked to once already. He's coming back to us with an updated spec, hopefully next week as well. So hopefully by the next council meeting, I'll have.
are they motivated to sell trucks? Are they?
They're motivated.
Motivated, yeah.
Yeah, they are, yeah. I was the one that kind of put the brakes on for a little bit there with the POs, so
Right,
just because it took a substantial.
But I mean, they're competing with one another, they know
They
what
are,
to
yeah,
negotiate.
and they know what the other ones do, and they know, you know, I've heard from people that I haven't even talked to or contacted, because they heard that we were in the market. As soon as you guys approved the money, I started getting phone calls, because it gets published, and they start calling me.
The
and
working
they're-
on the street.
Yeah,
That's
so,
good.
and the other thing is, we're trying to get as much equipment
Uh-huh.
in this as possible, possibility Scott air packs that are, you know, so we're working every angle trying to see what we can do, but
Very good, very good.
that's about it.
And we are all in receipt of your email about the construction of the buildings and your feeling about
Okay,
that.
perfect.
And
All right,
wonderful. Thank you very,
Thank you,
any
Chief.
questions for the chief before he goes?
No,
Thank you so
I
much.
got brochures and stuff with me too, if you just wanna see.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you, appreciate it. All right, going back to the regular schedule, we come to public comments in accordance with section 29(1) of the Code of the Borough of Raritan. There shall be a 5-minute time limit per speaker. Please direct all questions or comments to the mayor. Impertinent, specious, or personal remarks are inappropriate, and anyone who cannot follow common rules of courtesy or who becomes boisterous may be asked to leave the meeting room. If you're reading from a prepared statement, please provide a written copy and email a copy to the Borough Clerk's office after making your comments. Is there anyone who'd like to be heard during this first portion of public comment? All right, seeing no one, we'll close the first portion of public comment. We have 3 sets of minutes that we are going to approve this evening. The first one is for the August 25th, 2015 regular meeting. Is there someone that would like to move
I'll
those?
make a motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
Second.
second by Mr. Fooey. Any additions or corrections? All right, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Abstain.
Councilman Geraldo.
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia.
Abstain.
All right, the next set are the September 8th executive session minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Gara,
Second.
second by Mr. Sebelia. Any additions or corrections? Roll call.
Councilwoman Kara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Geraldo.
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
And the last set are the September 8th agenda workshop meeting minutes. Would someone like to move
I'll
those?
make a motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara, second by Mrs. Garrett. Any additions or corrections? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Geraldo.
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
All right, the next item on the agenda is a public hearing. And I need a motion to open the hearing, please. So moved. Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
Second.
second by Mrs. Kara. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Geraldo.
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
Mayor? Sure, thank you. So, this hearing is called pursuant to section 5-8B of the Code of Borough of Raritan, during the Environmental Commission. In order to remove a member who has been appointed to the commission, it has to be for good cause, upon notice of the hearing. There have been, I guess there are 2 members who were appointed to the commission who have not attended last, at least several commission meetings. So, I was requested to notify these 2 individuals, which I did by letter, advising that they don't have the right to have a hearing, to be present with counsel, or without counsel, they're choosing to state their case. I don't know if any of those individuals are here. There's a Candace Bauer or a Karen Baez? No? Okay, so it looks like they did not choose to appear. Mayor, Councilman Fooey is on these liaisons, so Councilman Fooey, just state the reason why you think these 2 members should be removed, or just for the record, and then we could take the appropriate motion at that time.
Well, neither member has attended a meeting of the Environmental Commission in over a year. And efforts have been made by the Secretary of the Commission to contact them. And there's been no response from either one of them. I understand one of them moved out of town. But they've had no response. We don't know why they didn't show up.
All right, so that would be the basis for removing them from the commission's failure to attend over a year, which constitutes good cause. So just get a motion to remove Ms. Karen Baez and Ms. Candace Bauer from the commission, and then remove Ms. So that would be the motion.
So there's a motion.
I'll make a motion. I'll make the motion to move the 2.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Fooey, second by Mrs. Kara.
Councilwoman Kara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Geraldo.
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
Very much. Do you have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved, Mayor.
Motion made by Mr. Fooey.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sebelia. Roll call, do you close the public hearing? All those in favor? Opposed? All right, moving along, we have, and we will, Councilman, at the next meeting, we will make the appointments of the. Moving along, we have ordinance number 2015-09. An ordinance of the Borough of Raritan, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, adding chapter 260, precious metals, gems, and secondhand goods to the code of the Borough of Raritan. That is still Tabled.
May I be participating in that over the phone?
Excuse me?
I'll be participating in this over the phone.
All right, Council, we're still waiting for Mr. Robel.
Yes.
to go through. And the next ordinance we have is ordinance 2015 dash 2015-12, an ordinance of the Borough of Raritan County, Somerset State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 207, Land Use and Development, Section 61, subdivisions of the Code of the Borough of Raritan to change the minimum radius of turnarounds at the terminus of dead-end or cul-de-sac streets from 50 to 45 feet. This ordinance needs to be tabled pending planning board approval. Planning board will meet on the 30th of this month.
Right, because the zoning changed,
It's
the
a
planning board
zoning
has to review it and put
So
recommendations back. to
This will be
council.
tabled until the October 27th, 2015 meeting.
Need a motion to table.
Okay, is there a motion to table it?
I'll make a motion.
The resolution hasn't been adopted.
The resolution hasn't been adopted. It was discussed, but the resolution hasn't been adopted. All right, so we need a motion to table, please.
So make a motion.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Kara, second by Mrs. Gara. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Councilman Sebillian.
Yes.
All right, moving right along. We have Resolution 2015-09-108, the authorization of preliminary costs for preparation of an engineering study to redesign the electrical system at the Raritan Borough Library, and this cost shall not exceed $5,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Motion made by Mr. Fooey, second by Mrs. Gara. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Councilman Sebillian.
No.
All right, moving along then, the next resolution is 2015-09-109. This is the awarding of the contract for professional engineering services for redesign of the electrical system at the Raritan Borough Public Library. And that is to Van Cleef Engineering Associates, 755 Memorial Parkway in Phillipsburg, in an amount not to exceed $5,000 to conduct said service. Do I have someone who would like to move that?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Kara,
Second.
second by Mr. Fooey. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Councilman Sebillian.
No.
If I could just read in the resolution that we discussed in executive.
Yes.
Read that in the record for a motion. It'd be resolution 2015-110, a resolution authorizing the execution of an amendment to the municipal shared services defense agreement.
Is there a motion to support that? Do we need to re-vote on that, or it's just?
Yes,
a-
yes.
Yes, is there a motion to support that, please?
I'll make that
Or a
motion.
second? Second?
We'll make the motion.
Stephanie made the motion. Right.
A motion and a second.
We need a second, or we need a second.
I'm reading.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. Motion made by Mrs. Gara, second by Mr. Fooey. Roll call.
Councilwoman Kara.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Councilman Sebillian.
No.
Okay. Moving along, we have the approval of the bills list in the amount of $3,729,037.43, having been listed on the bill list for the period of August 24th, 2015 through September 18, 2015, and recorded in the files of the Borough Hall are hereby approved to be paid. Do I have someone who would move?
I'll make a motion.
Mrs. Kara makes the motion.
A second.
Mr. Giraldi seconded. Any questions or concerns about the bill list? All right, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara.
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Councilman Sebillian.
Yes.
All right. Now we have one purchase order, and that is for the fire department for tires for Tower 52-2 from Richie's Tire Service in Middlesex in the amount of $5,917.
Make a motion.
All right, motion is made by Mrs. Kara.
I'll second.
Second, this is pending, I think, certification of funds, isn't it? Right.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara,
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia.
Yes.
And so I'm never gonna complain when I go to buy new tires for my car ever again.
That's ridiculous.
That truck has given us more problems. Wow. Well, that's 8 tires. All right, committee and liaison reports. Mrs. Carroll will start with you, since the council president's not here.
And for the fire department for September 2015, call totals for August, 15 fire calls, 4 drills, and 4 non-incidents. During August, the fire department took a 19-hour class at the Somerset County Fire Academy in vehicle extrication. Classes were held on Thursday night from 7 to 10 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 8 until 4. 14 members were certified as vehicle extrication technicians. The ladder truck is back in service, but still has some minor issues that are being worked out with the manufacturer and their local repair company. Under Office of Vital Statistics, fees collected for the month of August, there were 3 marriage licenses at a total $9, 38 marriage certified copies, $329, and 155 death certified copies for $536, for a total of $874. And the Board of Health has finished their fees, and I think Connie Del Rocco has sent that off to our attorney to look at, because we'd like to introduce it on October 14th at our next Board of Health meeting. And that's all I have.
Under police, there will be a promotion and award ceremony here in council chambers on September 30th at 6 p.m. All council members and the public are welcome to join in. And again, that'll be at 6 p.m. The activity report for September, there were 789 general calls, 48 motor vehicle accidents, 19 fire calls. Let's see, there were 37 overtime hours. I'd like to congratulate the police and Public Works for the Basilone Parade, also the Basilone Parade Committee for a wonderful time. The seniors met, and there's nothing to report on seniors other than in December, anybody from the general public wanting to turn in any over-the-counter pills or prescription pills, please bring them downstairs between 12 and 1 o'clock. The Sheriff's Department will be doing the collection of pills. So please bring your pills. They don't need to be in a container, or they can be, and the Sheriff's Department will be collecting them and have them incinerated. And that is all for my reports. Thanks.
That also includes any kind of liquid medications or over-the-counter cough syrups or...
Yes, just no syringes and no iodines.
They do take...
No syringes and no iodines, I know. And there is a notice on the borough website as well.
I thought they took the B kits too, but I guess they don't. 'Cause they're syringes.
Yeah, I think they said no syringes, but I did ask, I'm pretty sure, Maggie, do we have that up on our borough website yet? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Drolling.
Well, I'd like to thank the Basilone Committee. We had the Basilone Parade, and it was another great event. The weather was fine, so it was very nice. The last Basilone Committee meeting was the same time as Cultural and Historic, so I didn't make the Cultural and Historic meeting, and so that's all I have.
Jim?
The Environmental Commission did not have a meeting this month. We didn't have a quorum, but we will correct that. At the next meeting, we appoint 2 new members. That's why we had this hearing tonight. Regarding the schools, John F. Kennedy School continue to hold 2 back-to-school nights. Back-to-school night for students in grades K, 1, and 2 will be held on Wednesday, October 7th at 7 p.m. And for students in grades 3 and 4 will be held on Thursday, October 8th at 7 p.m. More information on the back-to-school nights will be emailed to parents and guardians at a later time. JFK is also holding an outdoor movie night and that is coming up this Friday, September 25th, and they're showing Monsters University. We recently had a movie on ourselves in August, up by New Washington School, and it was very successful. The kids love it, and it reminds me of the old drive-in days. PTO is collecting box tops. They get school money out of that. It's a long-standing thing they've been doing for a number of years, and rather than throw out your cereal box, people take the box tops, give them the PTO, and they get money from it. How they do it, I don't know. How that works, I'm not sure. I know they collect it and they get money. The varsity football game versus Union, originally scheduled for this Friday, September 25th, will be played on Thursday, this Thursday, September 24th, at 7 p.m. at the Basilone Field. The Panthers, led by head coach Scott Bray, are off to a 2-0 start and are currently ranked 18th in the NJ.com top 20. Union comes in with a 1-1 record. The principal of the high school had a welcome back letter on the district website, and I won't read the whole thing, but part of it he says, as the year begins, I extend my thanks to the communities of Bridgewater and Raritan for their support of our schools. It is through that support that a positive school culture has been created and has endured for many years. On October 14th, they will be holding PSAT tests for juniors. Now, what that is, PSAT is a merit scholarship qualifying test. It's a preliminary version of the SAT. Not only does the PSAT help prepare students to take the SAT or ACT, a great score on the PSAT can also open the door to national merit scholarships and other awards, with $180 million in scholarships awarded to students who achieve high scores on the PSAT. How they perform on this exam can help them earn scholarship dollars that can change the direction of their college planning. The PSAT is much more than just a practice test. And the principal of the high school, Dr. Morrell, told me that we have 16 students that are finalists in these scholarships, which is quite a high number for one school. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Well, I was going to echo everyone else's sentiments. I thought the parade committee and the public works and the fire department and police department did an outstanding job on both Saturday and Sunday, and the public works department was out there bright and early Sunday morning, setting things up and getting things going, and the weather certainly cooperated. It wasn't really a great day Saturday morning, but it certainly turned into a beautiful day. For those of you that accumulate papers and whatnot like I do, there will be another public shredding on October the 3rd at the Branchburg Municipal Building. All you need to do is prove that you are a Somerset County resident, and they'll take anything and everything to be shredded. Regional Center met last Wednesday, and there really wasn't anything.
No, they're having another meeting on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right, there's a junior meeting tonight also. And at the library, we had a guest speaker from the Middlesex County Library Association who talked to us about the Friends of the Library and the possibility of getting a 501c3 for our Friends group that would enable you as a donor to be able to claim these things on your income tax, any donations on your income tax, but it would also give them the opportunity to run raffles or have someone who's nice enough to donate a car. We could raffle it off and earn money for the library in that way. And apparently, the Friends group in her particular library situation does all of the planning and program planning and all of the other activities that go on in the library, so that the library staff can simply focus on running the library. And also, beginning on October the 1st, the Travel Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall will be at the 4-H Fairgrounds. If you have never had an opportunity to go to see this, please take a few minutes and go. It is unbelievable. I've never seen the one in Washington. My husband's seen the one in Washington. I think Paul probably has too.
A couple of times.
I knew one name on the wall. one person that I went to high school with who was killed in 1967. And you just stand there and the tears run down your face. It's so emotional and so moving. And bring a box of Kleenex with you because it's amazing. And I think that's, and it's open, I believe, a limited number of days between noon and 3 or between noon and 5, somewhere in there. But there should be more information coming out on it in the next week or so. But do try to go. All right. Old business we've taken care of for Mr. Giraldi. New business, New York Avenue Emergency Sewer Service. Mr. Schreck, that's yours.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Should have brought this up at the last meeting, but I just got back from vacation. I didn't have all my papers. At the end of August, we had another one of our sewer breaks. This time it was up on New York Avenue. This one started a little bit different. The contractor was engaged by the homeowner to repair the line on their property, extend it out to the street. We always have a policy that the borough will take care of the expenses for replacing the sewer within the street. Contractor was already engaged. I talked to him. Estimate was about the same as we always do on these. And this one turned into an absolute nightmare. What we discovered was a sewer line, a sewer lateral that was improperly installed. It was made up of a piece of an old plastic water box encased in concrete. I don't know who did this. But we repaired it, the contractor repaired it, backfilled with QP, paved it properly, and it's completed now. So the homeowner's requesting reimbursement. I recommend that we do reimburse for the cost. That's been our policy for all of these.
And that would
We
be,
will be doing a project up in that area hopefully next year. As you recall, we put in for reconstruction of Columbus Street just to start in that area. From this experience, I'd like to do an inspection of all the laterals before we actually do the work.
And what
What's
is the
the
exact
amount?
number?
yeah, that's what I'm looking
Pardon?
for.
What's the number of the amount that we are reimbursing?
There's $9,775.20. It consists,
Yeah, that includes police traffic control for that.
yes, police traffic control and sales tax.
And that doesn't include the 2,000 for on their property, right?
Correct.
The 2,000 for on their property
Does not.
doesn't include that.
Well, our policy, no. And our policy has been not to pay on the property. The homeowner understands that.
So the total for the borough is $7,775.25?
$9,775.20.
Why are we paying sales tax?
And I'm just bringing that up.
That's a good
It's,
question.
You should be paying
you know, I bring it
Yeah,
up.
it was a private, we didn't contract.
We did not pay,
We
we're
didn't
not paying
contract.
Callow contract.
Sometimes we'll get advance notice and then we'll contract out. This contractor was already engaged, so he was working on the property.
The homeowner's already paid the contract?
Well, that I would
We're
want
reimbursing the
proof
homeowner.
of that. I think he stated in his email that he's paid both of the bills, not including the police overtime. But if I would want proof of that. I have bills, and I sent it to the council, and provided I have proof and a signed voucher, I think that's what we're talking about. Well, it would be 3 bills, really. It would be to all county drain, JW and Sons, and also for traffic detail.
Okay, you need a motion?
Yes, we do.
I make a motion to reimburse this resident $9,775.25 for the sewer project.
Pending certification of availability of funds.
I'll second that motion.
And provided that
Motion made by
the
Mr.
payment,
Fooey,
full
seconded by
payment
Mrs.
fee.
Guerra. Roll call, please, Dan.
Councilwoman Carra?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Guerra?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
And Councilman Sebelia?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Schreck, the other item is yours also.
Oh, thank you. Yes. The DOT grants will be due on October 20th. We need a resolution at the next meeting, so we have that. I I'm recommending that we put the construction insurance. We have current DOT grant that we have, Snow Avenue. That wasn't funded this year for the NASH that we do and other expenses, so it's going next year. If we apply for Sherman, and we get that grant, maybe not go back to the same time.
Does that include sidewalks on the other side of Sherman Avenue? On the north side of Sherman Avenue, does that include sidewalks?
Those sidewalks were, part of those sidewalks were done under CDBG grant, so we wouldn't be doing sidewalks as we do.
But you've got sidewalks on part of Sherman. You've got another, you've got a sidewalk and it stops.
We fill in gaps, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And, drainage compliance.
While you've got the road dug up, there are a number of houses on Sherman Avenue that do not have a gas line going into their property.
We notify the gas company. When we put a road program together, we notify the gas company at that time.
They might want to run the gas lines, because it's the strangest, I don't know why.
Notify the gas company.
There are 5 or 6 houses that have just electric.
The point is at the next meeting, we should have a resolution on the price.
Yeah, the DOT directs for
I have some other new businesses on here. Ken, it brought to my attention today that we drain the pool. We weren't supposed to drain the pool. I'm not sure if it was Basil Malone or Freeling Eyes. And the only reason why I ask it is that we need to,
We're gonna have
we need to
to
get some
clean it out and
communication.
refill it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they just wasted thousands of gallons of water because supposedly it's only empty.
I don't know, it was done by the pool manager.
No, all I'm trying to say is that we need to have some communication.
I
between-
spoke to Bauman Draycheck, he was trying to work things out here, and Danny said that Dale Bird said that he would clean out the pool.
Yeah, they were gonna leave, I think he said they were gonna leave the lid on and then fill up with water. So nothing else got into it. All right, no, I'm just letting people know, so.
Just remember something I wanted to bring up. There is a need for a crosswalk on Thompson Street. I'm going to tell you why. Thompson Street over by 2nd Street. There is a bus stop right now, Canby School bus stop that picks up a number of children in front of Michael's Inn. There must be 15 or 20 children that get on that bus right there. There is no crosswalk anywhere on Thompson Street other than at the right. And I brought this up before, and I was told, well, we have to put the stripe, we have to stripe it on one side or the other. But that's not necessarily true, because if you look at the crosswalk on First Avenue out there by Burn Street, there's a crosswalk, but there's nothing striped on either side to prevent cars from parking near it. It's right now, it's a dangerous situation for these children to be crossing the road, not in a crosswalk. Because even though
So you're not talking about having X's, you're just talking about a crosswalk.
I'm just talking about a crosswalk.
Well, let the chief
What do
maybe
you
take
think,
a look
Chief?
at that situation, and if you feel one should be.
The one on First Avenue doesn't have any no parking associated with it, because one side of the road is already no parking,
Right,
and the other side's a prohibited area already, so you don't need it.
I see.
If we add it to Thompson Street, it's gonna be 10 feet, both sides, you're losing 20, what's the width of the crosswalk, 4 feet, 3 feet? You're losing 23 feet of parking on both sides.
But there has to be something there for
State
those
law.
kids.
So it's like, oh, it's gonna be a corner.
It's on a corner.
Ramps on both sides. There's no ramps.
No. So
ADA
it's,
ramp requirement for the crosswalk.
there isn't one there.
On
Yes.
either side.
That's right, there isn't one on either side. On Thompson Street. The other thing that we need to talk about is the closing of that, curb cut on Thompson Street too. That we did a number of years ago, to facilitate a parking space.
Mayor, maybe you want to give transportation a call and see if they can move that bus stop up or down?
Well, it doesn't really matter because there are no crosswalks on Thompson Street.
Yeah, it depends on when the kids come.
And when the children get off the bus, yeah, she's got it stopped. But in the morning, if they want to go over and talk to their friend, they've got to cross the street, and the children get off, they come down Thompson Street, they go up Thompson Street, they go Colfax Street, and they go down to Second Street. So it's a large group of kids that come off, too. So if there's nothing you can do about it, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. We've covered the second portion of public comment. Anyone wishing to be heard? Bob?
Bob Lee, 87 East Somerset Street. I want to commend Mr. Girardi. About 2 meetings ago, he brought things up about work not being done on time in a timely manner. You, Mayor, 7 or 8 months ago, brought up the issue about sidewalks, tables and chairs. I don't see anything happening. I know what happened behind my house. The original complaint went in 4 years ago. If it wasn't for me a few months ago pushing the issue, it would have never got done. I want to thank you for this. I'm also hearing that there's restrictions passed by the planning board that are not being followed up on. Is it your help? It's not looking good for the town. I go to senior meetings and people are jawing about things. It doesn't look good. But Paul brought things up two meetings ago, and I'm proud of him for saying what he did, that things are just not being done. That people just avoid what he got working for you. If I did those things when I worked, somebody would have brought me up somewhere.
Thank you.
There's things, I see things, there's 2 signs, no turn on right, one coming into Raritan, one going out. You might as well throw them in the garbage. Nobody pays attention to them. And sooner or later, someone's going to get killed because they run the red light at 2:06 all the time.
Well,
I go to seniors, all the people live on First Avenue, complain about things, speeding and everything else. I think some of it might be helped, but it's not looking good. It's a disgrace to the town.
Well, the business about the traffic
I know.
is something that the chief is well aware of.
Yes, we are. I
And
understand.
we understand that. The other issues are things that I have had conversations with people about. And I'm being told, well, all right, this hasn't been done and that hasn't been done, we have to wait for these people to do this and such. And, you know, I'm on these people the same way you are. And I have to wait for them to do this and this and this.
You know, I was offered a job here 25 years, 30 years ago. I'm glad I didn't take it, because I would have been the most hated man in town.
Maybe you should still.
Maybe you should still take it.
I'll be 85 in 6 months. I don't need the aggravation.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Zach?
Zach Bray, 101 Anderson Street. I just want to thank you for your comments about the football team. I'll be real quick. I just want to add, my uncle has been the coach now for 9 years. This year they beat Hunter Central away for the first time ever. And then last Friday they beat Phillipsburg for the first time in 12 years. And it's only been 2 games, but it's been a great season. I hope it continues for him. And I hope to see one of you or all of you at a game one time. It's been pretty exciting. And we have quite a few people on the team from Raritan. I don't know if you know the Alessandro family on Bell. That kid is unbelievable.
Just as long as we don't have any episodes like the Linden and Immaculata.
No, gosh. Oh my gosh.
It was just awful. Anyone else wishing to be heard during this public comment time? All right, seeing no one else will close public comment. Do I have a